Welcome to a very special episode of Film Illiterates. Since we're going to be reviewing the classic 1979 Disney film, The Black Hole, this whole episode is going to be done in a spaceship.
Joe, we don't have the budget for that.
It's okay, I'll figure it out later. It's going to look badass.
I don't think so.
Woo! Look out for that meteor! Yeah!
What?
What is your type and model?
The Black Hole is about a black hole. Now, Alex, tell me why we are doing this episode.
I don't really know.
I think we're doing it because Nick wanted us to do it.
I guess so. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
You're so nice. I appreciate your movie recommendations. They are fantastic.
So there's this evil scientist guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to go into the black hole. And these other scientist guys find him and they're like, dude, we should not go into the black hole. We should get the out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I want to go into the black hole. And they're like, look at these robots. They take one of the robots' faces off and it's a person underneath. And they're like, what? And then they all go into the black hole. And weird stuff
And then it
happens.
mimics 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
And then apparently the bad scientist goes to like hell or something, and he morphs with a robot.
You know all these movies where characters go through black holes and interdimensional travel and stuff, and all this weird happens?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a movie where they go through a black hole and nothing happens. They're just like, oh, look,
They
we're
just go-
on the other side.
Must have made a wrong turn, Max.
Now, I am a really big fan of these older science fiction movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this one follows a plot structure that I actually find in a lot of movies from around back then. A guy on a spaceship goes crazy and ends up murdering people.
Okay,
It's a plot structure that's been used over and over again in science fiction, especially in science fiction horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the interesting thing about this movie is that it was set in 1979, or it was shot in 1979.
Yes.
And so they're running off the coattails of Star Wars, which came out a couple of years before that.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of being all adventure escapism, they ended up going for kind of a darker, more methodical, more plotting film.
Possibly decided to take a little bit of a different turn with this, make it a little bit more darker, a little bit more brooding than the kind of more action-oriented style that Star Wars has.
Luke Skywalker was just a farm boy until he received a mysterious message from a princess.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
She's beautiful.
What is this doing in a Disney movie?
Yeah, see, that's the thing that kind of caught me off guard, is like how dark this kind of goes, despite the lack of like actual violence, actual blood and gore. It is a bit darker just because of the themes they're dealing with. They are dealing with someone who has not really killed off the entire crew, but really turned them into like essentially cyborgs. They no longer have really a will of their own, and they're just kind of following him. So it does deal with a bit more darker material than you would expect your average Disney film to deal with.
The thing is that I'm not convinced that many kids are going to sit through this movie to begin with, because it is a very slow movie, and most of the movie is people talking.
I told the crew to abandon ship, to return home as ordered.
That's right.
It was
I refused this order.
What you
There
term
were larger
my
considerations.
theatrical gestures.
Other worlds.
I
was worried about
that.
life.
You and your companion
One
would have
step
been
too far.
Just a lot of talking before really kind of stuff really kicks off and gets interesting. And even when it does, it's not really in an interesting way that kids are really gonna like.
it's nice to see polished effects that look really good for their age. Blade Runner is a great example of that. Blade Runner, I think it holds up by today's standards. Jurassic Park is another one. I think it holds up by today's standards.
Yes.
But then there are the movies where the seams start to show.
David and Goliath. A classic confrontation. Only this time, David is overmatched.
You can see every composite shot. You can see kind of this little halo effect around the characters.
Yeah.
You can tell that the models are models. I'm happy that they use models. You can still tell that they're just big honking models they just put in front of a camera, though. And for me, that adds a sort of charm to it. This isn't a movie that I'm going to hold up as a classic. I don't even know if I'm ever going to see this one again. I probably will, honestly. I'll probably show it to someone else. Like, dude, you need to watch this movie.
Yeah.
But it's nice every once in a while to see a movie that's showing its age. And The Black Hole does not age well.
There was a really nice big explosion that was rad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
I
scene
was
where
surprised about that.
there's a scene where the characters are running away from a giant Cheeto puff ball that's rolling towards them.
You mean an asteroid? Yeah. Yeah.
Look out!
Oh, no.
Snacks from space.
Okay. Can we talk about...
So it's implied that the main villain created Maximilian, right?
Yes.
He made him. Then why did he make him look evil as
I don't know. I mean, it obviously just played well into the movie, but besides that, maybe he built him before he took control of the ship. And he built him and he's like, haha, I have a devil robot.
He just got drunk and made a robot one day. Look at that evil robot. It's not gonna cause me any problems later on.
Protect me from Maximilian.
I love how the movie takes a break to have his little Disney moment to have the robots have a little shootout contest with each other.
Oh, yeah. That was very pointless.
Vincent's my name, sharpshooting's my game.
Let's have a shootout and make him look like an asshole.
Oh, yeah. That's right. He pretty much kills him. And we're just like, oh, he lost.
He lost and he dies. And you got Ronnie McDowell doing the voice of the robot.
Yeah.
Who Ronnie McDowell is great. I love Ronnie McDowell. Whether he's covered in ape makeup or playing a vampire hunter in Fright Night.
Yeah.
He's great. Such a fun actor.
Uh-huh.
So, to wrap it up, I like this movie.
You too?
I think it helped my interest mainly because of the what the f***ery about the whole thing. Just the fact that this movie exists and that it's a dark and brooding Disney sci-fi opus. Does that sentence that just came out of my mouth? I can't believe I just said that. Dark and brooding Disney sci-fi opus.
Never thought it'd happen.
That's what this movie is, though.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable and it's intriguing, and it makes me want to research more about the making of this movie and what exactly went into making this film come to fruition. So, I enjoyed it.
I did enjoy watching it. I got some laughs out of it at points where I probably shouldn't have been laughing. I can't really give it a recommendation, just because there are other movies that you could watch that are better. It's not actually as bad as I expected it to be. Definitely not that.
Put that on the Blu-ray box.
Not as bad as I expected.
So yeah, that was our super big budget episode of our Film Illiterates. Big budget sci-fi episode.
Yes.
The special in 3D. Whoa! I don't have anything to end this. I just kind of did that because I didn't have anything.
Let's just let's.
Can we turn the fan on? It's really